Exiled from Ukraine wasn't how they were introduced, but that's exactly what the young couple I recently met was. They had been forced to hide during the bombings of their home city in Ukraine and then travel by various means before escaping into Europe and eventually America. While they were thankful to have arrived here safely, their main desire is to return to their home in Ukraine. Living in exile isn't their long-term plan. Most of us here in America find that hard to understand, both what it feels like to flee for our life to live in exile and not wanting to stay here in America. As the song says, I'm proud to be an American, and we don't understand why anyone wouldn't want to be. Yet, that's exactly what a Christian is. Oh, don't be silly, not an American, but an exile who escaped to Mount Zion. We've been looking at Obadiah verses 15 through 21, which seems to be the first in-depth prophecy of the day of the Lord and establishment of his kingdom. Written 850 years before the birth of Jesus and nearly 900 years before the establishment of the kingdom, AD 33. Obadiah describes God's judgment on the world in physical terms that illustrate a spiritual event. The Messiah would come and bring judgment on the nations, spiritual judgment. Jesus would die on the cross, be resurrected, and then ascend to his throne in heaven. The Holy Spirit would come to convict the world of sin and demonstrate God's judgment on Satan and the world system, John 16, verses 5 through 11. Men and women would hear the gospel, believe and obey it in baptism, and be freed from the power of Satan and sin. Freed from the control of this world system, they became exiles who escaped to Mount Zion, the city of God, Hebrews 12, verses 22 through 24. This was what Obadiah prophesied. Notice his words, but on Mount Zion there will be those who escape, verse 17. And the exiles of this host of the sons of Israel, who are among the Canaanites as far as Zarephath, and the exiles of Jerusalem who are in the Sepharad, will possess the cities of the Negev. The deliverers will ascend to Mount Zion to judge the mountain of Esau, and the kingdom will be the Lord's, verses 20 and 21. That prophecy was using the literal return of exiles that took place when various kingdoms who had attacked God's people fell, to declare a more permanent return of spiritual exiles who escaped from Satan's kingdom here on earth to God's eternal kingdom where Christ reigns. Do we understand that we, if we're Christians in the biblical sense, are exiles, and no country here on earth is our real home? Are you an exile from America, or have you made it your home? Are you living like an exile? Thank you for watching Morning Minutes in the Bible on An American Missionary. Until next time, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.